right, guys, welcome to the members only experience for Maggie May. I am going to go into a lot more detail on what I did on the intro of this song. It was a little bit tricky. There's a mandolin going on, and I wanted to be able to cover it on the guitar, but I didn't want to put so much picking into it that it made it into an advanced video, because that would have taken a lot of people away from this song. I think it's a great song. So what I'm doing, I'm going to play a few chords that I do need to stretch a little bit. It's really, all the intro is played on the first 4 strings, so you can think of it as a 4-string guitar. I'm going to hold what's called a D5 chord, open 4th string, 2nd fret of my 3rd string, 3rd fret of my 2nd string, and I've got my little finger out here getting ready to play the 5th fret. Now, when you're looking at this, you're going to say, wait a minute, he's offset, he's got a capo here. This guitar is a half step down. I like keeping my acoustic a half step down. It's easier on the top, easier to push down the strings, and by putting the capo at the 1st fret, I'm right back to standard tune, but I still have strings that are less tight, and I also have a string that wants to ring a little bit more. Also, the height of the fret is diminished. It's not as high as the nut, it's now the height of the 1st fret, so a lot easier to play. So if you guys have an acoustic guitar that's a little bit more difficult to play, this is a trick. Tune it down a half step, put a capo at the 1st fret, bringing it right back up to standard tune, but all of a sudden my acoustic guitar plays a lot better. So try that. But this is on my 2nd fret with my index finger, 3rd fret on my middle finger, 2nd string. And my little finger will be playing some notes on the 5th fret of the 1st string. We're adding some melody to this particular piece, so yeah, I have to be able to hit that note on that 1st fret of the 5th string. 5th fret of the 1st string. Got me. All right, so here's how we do it. We're going to hit the bottom 3 notes of the D5 chord, which will be the 2nd through the 4th strings. Then I'm going to hit the first 3 strings, and I'm going to lay down my little finger on the 5th fret of the 1st string. Other 2 strings stay put. 2 strums on that. Take that little finger back up. So it's... And then we're going to go to our 2nd chord, E minor. I'm going to hold the 3rd fret of the 1st string. I'm also going to bar the 3rd fret of my 2nd string, because I'll need that note in a second. It's a D note. And I'm going to hold the 5th fret of the 2nd string. We're only going to be playing those top 2 strings, and it's going to go with 3 and 5, and then pull off 5 to the 3, and then hit the 2 3s one time and another time, which will give you a G5 sound. So that second part was on the E minors. Now when I go to that G5, which is just 3rd fret of the 1st string, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, open 3rd string, and then I'm going to hit the first 2 strings 3rd fret twice. 3rd time I'm going to do a hammer on the 5th fret, so it's, and then hitting the 7th fret. I know, 7th fret on the 1st string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string. It's a stretch, but I have to have that note. Make sure you nail that note. We want to hear that clearly. Then we can drop back down to the D5, which is 5th fret on the 1st string, 3rd fret on the 2nd, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. After we allow that to sustain for a moment, the D chord, I hit my G chord, which is going to be 3rd fret on the 1st and 2nd string, open middle 2 strings. Then we're going to go through it again. Get out of this, we're going to do a quick punch on D, G, and then to A for the first verse. So let me play through this slowly. So that's the intro. Remember that even though this is a more detailed version, you can still slow it down and use our looper function, slow it down even further. So I encourage you to use that. You members know how that works. If you're not using the slow down, the looper features, use them. They make this a lot easier. You can learn how to play almost anything if you can slow it down slow enough and loop it and go over it enough times. So I really encourage you guys to use that. All right, for the strum for the verse on this particular song, it's fairly easy. On most of the chords, we're just going to be doing quarter notes and eighth notes. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's down, 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 shift chords. sounds like this. Details I want to cover in that section. F sharp minor. It's just like an E minor chord, which is open, second fret, open, 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 across from the 6th to the 1st strings. E minor, we bring it up 2 frets, so I do have to bar on this one, barring the 2nd fret, all 6 strings, and then your 4th and 5th string, 2 frets higher at your 4th fret, and that's your F sharp minor. No way around it. We have to play that chord. So if you don't know this chord, practice it up. If you don't know how to do bar chords, check out my videos on bar chords. I'll talk to you about how to do that and kind of help lead you through that process. F sharp minor, it's a really good first bar chord to learn. It's a couple frets away from the nut. If you're using the capo, way easier to play. If you're tuned down a half step, we talked about that earlier. And I would encourage you to do that. Make sure you keep your thumb right on the back of the neck though, underneath that bar finger, so you can really clamp down on that 2nd fret. The other thing I did there that was a little bit fancy on the A sus4 and the A, I mentioned that in the regular video, but I didn't go into detail. An A chord would be the 2nd fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, open 1st string, open 5th string. On an A sus4, we add the 3rd fret in front of the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, so we're playing the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and the reason I have both fingers down on the same string is I'm going to do the A sus4, immediately revert back to A. Many times when we use a sus4 type chord, we will revert back to the regular major or minor chord underneath it. It calls back to it. So that's just a... On the first verse, he does not do this. He'll just sit on the E minor to the A and bounce right back off of the A. But he does use this A sus4. I also found a couple of videos where he was doing it live where they did that every time. So you can add to taste wherever you want to use the A sus4 to A, you can do that in the verse. We go to the guitar solo backing next, and that's the E minor chord, A, B, G chords, back to E minor, the G, and the D. All basic chords. This song is a little bit cumbersome to learn because there's a lot of chord changes here. Just make sure you have the tab sheet in front of you. You can actually even color code it. I found that if you take some highlighter markers and maybe use one color for your G chord, another color for your D, another color for your A, you don't even need to really read. You can just see the colors and have a little cheat sheet at the side and know which color is which chord. It'll lead you through it very quickly. So I hope you're enjoying this song, and let us know what you think about the companion videos that we're shooting here with more details for you members, trying to enhance your experience.